Hey guys, Vera Cat here and welcome to the channel. Okay, so this is just going to be a quick breakdown of some top moments from episode 1 of Stranger Things. Just going to get right into it. Alright, here we go. First off, again, I just gotta say the opening sequence to this was just so great. It's totally reminiscent of Aliens and The Thing. You just see this researcher, like, running through the halls. The center's gone haywire. Lights are flickering. He's just like booking it out of there. And he finally makes it to the elevator. He gets inside and he's just like staring out into that dark, flickering hallway, kind of telling himself, okay, man, you might actually be good. You might get out of here alive. But you already know it doesn't matter. Like, he's dead. And yep, sure enough, you hear the monster above him and you see him get snatched up just as the elevator doors close shut. And that was just a great start to what is a really awesome show. All right, next up, we get our first glimpse of the monster. It's just this like shadowy figure following Will. Like, he runs into it like on his way home. He falls off his bike. He sees it following him, and he just like books it home and he checks outside and yep, sure enough, the monster followed him there. And he tries everything he can. He locks the door. He tries the phone and it doesn't work. And he knows the monster's coming. So rather than just like sitting around waiting to be eaten, he goes to the back shed and like it's Will, get your gun. He manages to load it in time. He's totally waiting. The lights are flickering, but it's all for naught. He gets snatched up. But what I like about these first two things is it kind of setting up the idea in our heads that lights can be used to communicate with the upside down. All right, moving on. This part here really got to me, and that's the fact that Will's mom and brother are going about their morning routine the next day, and they don't even realize that he's missing. And, this kind of happens, in busy families. You're not always like 100% like keeping tabs on each other, but still, it's really heart-wrenching. Like, as they start to figure out that he's missing, I can only imagine the amount of fear and guilt that's kind of overwhelming Winona Ryder's character at this moment. She hasn't seen her kid in like 24 hours, and she's just now realizing that he's not there and no one knows where he is. And also, little side note, this is the last time we ever hear Jonathan mention the so-called job he has that supposedly kept him out late that night and is the reason why nobody knows where Will is. So I don't know, maybe a little reminder that everyone should check on their kids before they go to bed. Just as a rule of thumb. Alright, so next up we got mornings are for coffee and quiet contemplation. So love Hopper here, he's just totally lackadaisical, he gets to work, doesn't want to deal with anything, he's just, he doesn't want to deal with like, a mom that's probably worked up over nothing, and he's just real blasé about this missing kid. And he's also being kind of condescending. Now, a big city cop might act this way just because they have such a heavy workload, but in Hop's case, it's more that he's, sheriff of this sleepy little town, and like he said, the worst thing that's ever happened was when an owl attacked Eleanor Gillespie's head because it thought it was a nest. So, he's kind of dismissive, but still, you can kind of see where he's coming from, and he will take it seriously and help Joyce and follow up on it. All right, next up, enter the big bad government guys. Again, this whole sequence pulls from like The Thing and The Abyss and Aliens. It's real creepy and foreboding, and it's also our first introduction to this nefarious Dr. Brenner, and it's also the first time like they mentioned the girl who we come to know as 11. And then you got Benny. Aw, Benny, we hardly knew ye. Benny, played by Chris Sullivan from The Nick. If you've never seen it, it's different, but it's good. I personally liked it. Anyways, he's another example in Stranger Things of what in most other shows would totally be a throwaway character, but in Stranger Things, he's just so engaging to the audience. And that's a lot of the characters in this show. Like, what would normally would be a throwaway character in another show just as a plot point or filler, actually means something to you as an audience member. He's just this nice guy trying to do the right thing. He's probably the first genuinely kind person that 11 has ever met. And he just genuinely wants to help her. And that probably reinforces the idea in her mind that she made the right decision in booking it out of the super secret government facility. Also, this is where we get like a first glimpse of what her powers could entail. So last up, we got inner Connie Frazier, the mild-mannered child protective services worker. And oh wait, shit, you know, she is not Connie Frazier. Who knows what she is, but a crazy assassin. And 11 just takes off. And while they only show the aftermath, you totally hear her take out those two guys she runs into on her way out. And while all of this is going on, the only good song Jefferson Airplane ever did plays in the background, which I thought was pretty perfect. Well, that's it. My top moments from the episode. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe, comment, find me on Twitter, and I'll see y'all next time.